Hey guys, my name is Devin. My YouTube channel is DRG Bros. Today we're going to be doing it's basically completing the square part 2. I have a couple of applications for completing the square today. So yeah, so what the problem we're going to sorry. If you forgot what completing the square is, we use a technique called half square add subtract. So if we have this step in a problem, for example, this one's actually going to be in our problem today. We can use this half squared subtract to move on. So we keep the x squared and we keep the 6x the same. We half square. So we're going to add. I know that's not first, but adding is what comes first. Then we're going to half whatever the x value is, so that's 6. We're going to half it and square it, and then subtract that same half squared value, like that. Okay, that's how we're going to do it. So, the problem that I have for you today is pretty simple. So, we're actually going to use integral. So, we have the integral of 1 over 2x squared plus 12x plus 20 dx. Alright? So, yeah. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to take the first step. So, basically, what we're going to do is we're going to pull the 2 out of this equation. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So, if this doesn't make sense, I'm going to try to explain it. Because when I first saw it, I got it right away. I don't know if you guys will. So, we're going to do this. So, it's going to be 2 brackets x squared plus 12 over 2x plus 20 over 2 dx, okay? Now, do you see why we can do this? So, we're pulling the 2 out from the x squared, right? So, we're basically dividing this entire equation by 2, basically. So, the x, we just get rid of it. This, we're just going to leave the same for the problem's sake. But notice, if we multiply this back in, we get this. If we didn't do this, we would get something different than this. That's exactly why. So now we're going to do the halves. So that's going to be 2x squared plus 6x plus 10 dx. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use half square add subtract like I just showed you. What we're also going to do though before we do that is we're going to pull this 2 out in front, and it's 1/2 the integral of this. So x squared plus 6x plus 10 dx. Alright? Now we're going to use half square add subtract. So, if you remember how to do this, I showed you it's going to be x squared plus 6x. You leave that the same. Alright? Add the halved value and subtract the halved value. And square both variables like that. And don't forget, I made this mistake too. Make sure to add the plus 10. Don't forget that. I made this mistake when I was first going through this problem. Alright. So now what we're going to do is we're going to factor out both of the values. So it's going to be x squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 9 plus 10. Okay? Now notice, this is exactly the same. If we were to factor this is the exact same thing as this. That's why we can use half square add subtract. Because in the end, it's exactly the same as it was at the beginning. So, now, yeah, you might be thinking, well, Devin, you just did that reverse. What's the point? You just did something to do something. But no. There's a reason. So you see, this is actually, right here, these 3, the x squared, the 6x, and the plus 9, that's actually a solvable equation. We can factor that out, look, to x plus 3 and x plus 3. See? So, yeah, that's how that works. So we can write that as x squared. And that's why we do that. Like, that's the whole reason why we go through the half squared and subtract. So we can get this 9 into this. That's exactly why. So when we put that in, that's 1/2 of the integral of 1 over, we're going to write x plus 3 squared, okay? Now, that's another thing too. You can always figure out like what this value is, because if you know what this is, it's just solving it. It's easy. And when you get really fast at it, what you can know to do, if you're really fast, you can just take this, have it in your mind, and just square it. So, like, when I first saw this as a problem, like, I did this tediously slow to make sure everything worked, but, like, yeah, I can do it much faster in my head. So we do that, minus 9 plus 10 dx. So now what we have is we can pop that last 1 in. 1 over x plus 3 squared plus 1 dx, okay? Now here's what we're going to do before we turn the page. We're going to do a u substitution. So u is going to be equal to x plus 3. Now, yes, that's what we have written here. So u, when you get to this stage of the problem, u is always going to be whatever is inside these parentheses. Always. And du, because everything is just x's and 3's, is just going to be dx. So now we're going to turn the page. And we're going to have 1/2 the integral of 1 over u squared plus 1 du. So then, if you've watched some of my previous videos, you'll know that this is equal to 1/2 of, like, we're just going to split this right here. This right here, when we do the integral, is the inverse tangent of u. And then we just plug u back in and add the integral coefficient, I forgot what it's called. The inverse tangent of x plus 3 plus c. Yeah, so thank you guys very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you for another video. Bye, guys.